Meredith told me there were 2 things that I had to watch on Netflix.
Yes.
And this weekend, I tried. I watched the Dave Chappelle.
Amazing.
The Closer.
Right.
Honestly, I get why. I get why there's cancellation rumors, but I think it's designed because he wants to be canceled.
Okay, he's pushing the limits.
I think Dave Chappelle walked away from $50 million and went to his acreage in Ohio.
Yeah.
So he has no problem unplugging from the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, honestly, he pressed the envelope. But there's a lot of honesty in what he said.
Yes.
Like,
I
if you watch the whole thing, I think you get a better understanding of who he is and that there's not anger there. There's because comedy has always, like Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy and all of the like greats were always talking about comedy was a way of working through dark demons.
Mm-hmm.
And you work through it in jest. And he was like, I grew up in a different time, but when he was talking about empathy, and especially the last line, it's like, empathy isn't gay, empathy isn't black, empathy is very bisexual because it goes both ways.
Yes.
And I'm like, yo, how can you watch the entire thing and not walk away with some sort of clarity on what he said? Like when he said that, we're okay to accept Caitlyn Jenner, but we can't accept like Cassius Clay changing his name to Muhammad Ali.
Right.
I'm like, yo, like that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Like, because when you look at the LGBTQ plus community, there is, I'm sure Martin Luther King's estate is very mad at the fact that he was like, let's oil ourselves up and put some booty shorts on. He's like, because if the black movement, the civil rights movement had, some booty shorts and Vaseline
parades
on and some parades, he's like, maybe it would have done as good as the LG. Because you got to admit, their movement is pretty stellar.
You've always said that, though, before you even watched Chappelle.
Before I watched it, I told you, I was like, you mess around and say something about somebody black, and this could be some furniture movement. But you say something around somebody in the community behind them letters, they'll shut your business down. It is like the mob.
Well organized.
We've said that before. Like, and I just think there's some ability to have stuff in jest that he's supposed to live with. But I can't tell people how to treat it. I just think that you should watch the whole thing and not just go off the headline.
Well, and it was also important during the special. He was like, you have to listen to exactly what I'm saying. Don't just listen to half of it. Watch the entire thing, because what I'm talking about is his opinion. Not only that, but instead of hearing about what other people say about something, he explains it fully.
Somebody wrote me and said that after he made the joke about being molested by the priest, he's like, I turned it off. And I'm like, okay, well, dude.
That's an old joke.
I'm like, honestly, I've made that joke. Where
right.
It's like, because I went to Catholic school for 10 years. I'm like, nobody touched me.
Right.
Well, I was kind of sexy. I was cute. You know what I'm saying? I was looking good. Like, I took offense. I'm like, you trying to tell me y'all was touching everybody and nobody touched me? And I meant it as a joke. And now I'm sure, who knows? Me recanting that, somebody might mess around and get mad now. But it was a joke. Jokes are supposed to be ludicrous. If I say, yo, Meredith, I can't wait to go home and throw that Speedo on and walk around. The ludicrous nature of me being in a Speedo and the visual is what's funny about it.
Right.
You got to be able to I just don't understand it. I don't get it.
And talk about things and laugh about things together. Did you see some of the audience members not messing with
I did,
that?
but that fueled him on. He
Yeah.
was like, yo, but he told some really telling stories and whatever. All right, and so I watched that. And then after it ended, I was like, yo, I kind of want to watch something else. And it was queued up next.
Right.
The Squid Game.
And we've been talking about it.
And y'all been talking about that for so long.
I
And
binged
honestly, this is the exact same thing as when y'all was trying to get me to watch Stranger Things.
Yes.
And some other weird show that y'all was watching. And I was like, yo, these shows are whack.
You didn't like the Tiger one either.
I didn't make it past. I will tell you, when that dude had lunch or dinner with his daughter, on the first episode, that's where I tapped out.
Why?
I was
it's
tired
setting
of
up the
it.
scene of everything.
I was so tired of it. It was so spastic with him trying to win the thing, and just everything was like, oh, da, da, da. And I'm like, yo, I can't. Like the overdubs were horrible.
Yes.
Like I remember, Money Heist was overdubbed, and I couldn't tell. Like I mean, I could tell, but it wasn't like a big distraction. This is terrible.
You have to get used to it.
I don't. I can't watch it.
You're not gonna watch Squid Games?
I'm not going back to watch it.
Are you serious?
I'm not.
You'll sit there and watch, I don't know, a million other shows that have you have to read the entire thing, but you won't watch Squid Games because of the dubbing?
It's just real. It's not even. It looks like it's it's just ugh.
What? Even the backstory of how they got that made?
It was not sexy.
He tried to sell that to all the networks for 10 years and got told no.
Right. I looked terrible.
He sold his laptop. He had nothing left.
Right.
What?
Yeah.
And then Netflix finally bought it.
But good for Netflix.
Dude, that show is awesome.
I can deal with murder in doses, small doses, but it's like I was waiting for the killing to start, and it was just so boring. It was like the complaint that they had about the Titanic. It was like, we know what happens. Like, we're waiting 3 hours to hit the ice. Like, let's bring on the water. Like, come on, Jesus. Why we got this boy in here drawing this naked woman? Like, when we gonna hit the rock?
Are you really making fun of Titanic
when we gonna hit the rock?
What is going on here?
You waiting on it. It's like with those Godzilla movies where they wait 30 minutes before they show you Godzilla. It's like, the name is Godzilla.
Pretty much everybody thinks you have the worst opinion right now. Everybody totally disagrees.
Squid Game is horrible.
One person supports you, but the rest of them think you're nuts.
Who wants to sit there and watch this man the whole time?
That's not what happens the whole time.
He was excited the entire time, running from the people who was
You
going to beat
barely
him
watched one episode.
Yeah.
You didn't even get to the games.
And all I sat there and thought about was, damn, I could just watch Dave again.
Oh, my God.
Because I could have watched that over again and enjoyed it as a part of this whole...
I can't even talk to you about this show.
Horrible.
Wow.
I don't think it will ever get my time again. I can't do that. I honestly, and I feel good about it because every time I recommend something to you and Davi, y'all ignore mine.
Do not put me in the Davi category.
Y'all do. Y'all
that
ignore
is so
every show that I show you.
What?
Y'all ignore mine. I tried to get y'all on Snowfall.
Yeah, that was really
like,
Davi.
That's
right up his alley.
Davi, this is right up your alley.
It's about this.
Like, I mean, there's a lot of similarities with this thing and how you grew up. Like, you gotta like it. He's like, nah, I'm gonna watch this other thing Meredith put me on to. And I'm like, y'all are just
See, now you're just jealous. That's what it is.
Right, and I'm not watching y'all's show. That's fine.
You didn't like Tiger King, which is crazy.
Which was the dumbest
and it's
show
local,
ever.
And it's a local show.
It was stupid.
Okay.
Like, y'all watch stupid shows, and I watch the real.
Okay.
Just to let you know.
Okay, all your stuff is good. All of our
Everything
stuff
that I've pointed on to y'all has been award-winning shows. Awesome. And y'all been sitting around watching these crackhead shows. I'm just letting you know. Because sitting watching that man.
That's not how it is.
No.
It's just the culture.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good. And after you get like 2-3 episodes in, you have to finish the rest of them.
2 or 3 episodes, I would kill myself.
No. What?
I would be the Squid Game. Pow. I'd be like, yeah, I'll be done. I couldn't do it.